Hello, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to United Hearts of Jesus and Mary. And today I wanted to read you from my book called Divine Intimacy, Meditation of the Interior Life for Every Day of the Liturgical Year by Father Gabriel of St. Mary Magdalene. And I'm going to be reading from the Divine Seat. So let me just set up my phone right here so I can start reading to you guys. And I actually found this book at St. Anne in San Diego, California. We attended Mass this past summer, and after Mass we stayed there and at church, and somebody sitting next to me left it there, and I hadn't seen it until the church was empty, and I noticed that the book was there, and I waited for the owner to come back, and I waited and waited, but nobody ever came to claim it. So I thought that was a sign for me to read it. So I read it and I just fell in love with it. So here, let me share with you guys. It starts, the Divine Seat. Presence of God. O Lord, I am here before you. Grant that my heart may be the good ground, ready to receive your divine word. Meditation. Today, Jesus, the divine sower, comes to scatter the good seed in his vineyard, the church. He wishes to prepare our souls for a new blossoming of grace and virtue. The seed is the Word of God. Jesus Christ, the Word incarnated, eternal utterance of the Father, came to sow this Word in the hearts of men. It is, as it were, a reflection of himself. The divine word is not a sound which strikes the air and disappears rapidly like the word of man. It is a supernatural light which reveals the true value of things. It is grace, the source of power and strength to help us live according to the light of God. Thus it is a seed of supernatural life, a sanctity of eternal life. This seed is never sterile in itself. It always has a vital, powerful strength, capable of producing not only some fruit of Christian life, but abundant fruits of sanctity. This seed is not entrusted to an inexperienced husband, who because of his ignorance might ruin the finest sowing. It is Jesus himself, the Son of God, who is the sower. Then, why does the seed not always bring forth the desired fruit? Because very often the ground which receives it does not have the required qualities. God never stops sowing the seeds in the heart of man. He invites them. He calls them continually by his light and his appeals. He never ceases giving his grace by means of the sacraments. But all this is vain and fruitless unless man offers God a good ground, that is, a heart well prepared and disposed. God wills our salvation and sanctification, but he never forces us. He respects our liberty. Today's Gospel, Luke 8:4-15, mentions 4 categories of people who receive the seed of the divine word in different ways. It compares them to the hardy ground, to the stony oil, to the earth shocked with thorns, and lastly to the good fertile field. The hard ground, souls that are fervently, souls that are frivolous, dissipated, open to all distractions, rumors, and curiosity, admitting all kinds of creatures and earthly affections. The word of God hardly reaches their heart, when the enemy, having free access, carries it off, thus preventing it from taking root. The stony ground, superficial souls with only a shallow layer of good earth, which will be rapidly blown away, along with the good seed, by the winds of passion. These souls easily grow enthusiastic, but do not persevere in time of temptation, fall away. They are unable because they have not the courage to embrace renunciation and to make the sacrifices which are necessary if one wishes to remain faithful to the word of God and to put it into practice in all circumstances. Their favor is a straw fire which dies down and goes out in the face of the lightest difficulty. The ground covered with thorns, souls that are preoccupied with worldly things, pleasures, material interest, and affairs. The seed takes root, but the thorns soon shock it by depriving it of air and light. Excessive solicitude for temporal things eventually stifles the rights of the Spirit. Lastly, the good ground. It is compared by Jesus to those who, with a good and upright heart, hearing the word, keep it and bring forth fruit in patience. The good and upright heart is the one which always gives first place to God, which seeks before everything else the kingdom of God and his justice. The seed of the divine word will bear abundant fruit in proportion to the good dispositions it finds in us. Recollection, a serious and profound interior life. Detachment, sincere seeking for the things of God above and beyond all earthly things. And finally, perseverance, without which the word of God cannot bear its fruits in us. O Jesus, divine sower, rightly do you complain of the arid, sterile ground of my poor heart. What an abundant sowing of holy dispirations, interior lights, and grace you have cast into my heart. How many times you have invited me to come to you by special appeals, and how many times have I stopped after following you for a short time. O Lord, if only I could understand the fundamental reason for my spiritual sterility, my instability and inconstancy in good. Will your light fail me? No, for you are continually instructing and admonishing my soul in 1,000 ways. Oh, if so many souls live in error and not knowing you had received but 100th part of the light which you have given me so profoundly, how much fruit would they not have drawn from it? Will your grace fail me? Is not your grace my strength, O Lord? I see that neither your light nor your strength will fail me. What I lack is the perseverance which can faithfully withstand temptations, difficulties, and darkness, which can face courageously the sacrifices and austerity of the Christian life. It is easy to make sacrifice and to renounce oneself for a day, but it is hard to keep on doing it always, every day of our life. Is this not the reason that you said, O Lord, that the good heart brings forth fruit in patience? O Jesus, who endured with invincible patience your most sorrowful passion and death, give me the patience I need to keep up the struggle against my passions and my self-love. Patience to embrace with perseverance all the sacrifices required by total detachment, to be able to live without personal satisfactions and pleasures, to do everything that is repugnant to me, that hurts me, that crosses me, and is displeasing to my self-love. O Lord, you know that I desire total purification because I long for union with you, but you cannot purify me entirely if I cannot accept patiently your work. The trials, humiliations, and detachments that you prepare for me. O Jesus, divine sufferer, give me your patience. Make me like yourself, humble and patient. Thank you, brothers and sisters. I hope you like it. And if you do, please make sure to comment and let me know if you want me to keep on reading from this beautiful book that I love so much, Divine Intimacy. May God bless you, and Viva Cristo Rey.